Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new painting tutorial, and this time we are going to paint this guy. This is a rack from the Dark Elder, and we are going to paint this, also work in progress, but this color scheme. So we are going to have very pale skin. We are going to have red parts and black. Okay, we are going to combine red, black, and then we are going to use green for liquids and some metallics. So we are going to start with the skin, and we are going to apply Drukhari flesh. So this is this color. Here we have Drukhari flesh. We go with that and we start painting the skin. Okay, I try to be careful not to go into the details, into other things. I like, although it's taking more time, it's up to you, but I like to paint in a way that I can leave the other details in black so I can see them easily when I need to do the other things. Okay, so but if I do mistake, I will not be too much concerned. So we apply a thin layer. Drukhari flesh works quite well on top of black. Maybe you will need to do a second layer, but normally with 2 layers you should be able to have a nice and clean color. Okay, so I'm doing that and I'm back for the next step. Okay, once we have done all the flesh tones, now I'm going to use red, and I will do some of the decoration. I will do this type of cloth that it has here. All this we are going to give a thin layer, a couple of thin layers of red here. We're using corn red. Okay, this one. And we are going to do some of the armor plates. Okay, so we are going to do this armor plate here, leaving the borders in black. And I'm going to do as well this armor plate. Okay. So as you can see, my paint is quite thin. So we are going to do that. Trying to leave the parts that does not go red in black. Okay. I know this type of tools will go in silver later on, but I prefer to leave. Try not to touch them. So I can see them very clearly when I have to do the next layer. Okay. Then on the armor we are going to go plate by plate, patiently. And the only plates I will leave black are these ones that are here on this piece of cloth. Okay, these ones I will leave them in black to contrast them with the red cloth. So I will be doing that, and I'm back once it has dried. Okay, next step, I'm going to apply agave air shade over the miniature. Okay. So I'm going to apply it on the skin and on the red, because then I want to do clean silver, and I want to do this now that I don't have the rifts to dirten any other part. Okay, so I'm going to apply this over all these parts, as you can see here. Okay, we go fast, we try not to miss any part, and try to avoid excessive pulling. right? I want that it's accumulating a little bit in the recesses to make the shades, but I don't want it to pull. I don't want it to leave stains. And I like a lot these miniatures because they have very interesting texture on the musculature. So you will see that the musculature will pop up very easily. And then on the risky part can be the red, where it's more flatter, but I want to darken the red. Okay, this is why I go over the red as well with the Agvax Air Shade. I prefer Agvax Air Shade than black on the red normally. Okay, so and see, it's quite a fast. I'm doing it all on camera because I want to show you that this is how I apply a wash over a whole miniature and try to avoid that it's pulling. So try to have a clean wash, right? Not too. So it's a little bit messy always doing a wash, but you don't want to be too messy, right? So this is why I'm doing this. And again, do that before, because for example, if I have done the hooks and the knives that he has there, I'm going to dirten them. I want to keep the silver of the Dark Elder quite bright to show that it's sharp. And I will do just a green tint later on. Okay, I'm doing as well the feet. And you can see this is what I want to avoid, this excessive pulling there. So now I'm going with the brush and I eliminate where I think I have too much wash. You can see I go with the brush and I remove a little bit of the wash or shade that we have applied. Okay, if you see a spot that you want to darken a little bit, you can come back. The other option is to do 2 layers. Okay, if you see that you don't have enough contrast and you want to increase a little bit more or make some part darker, wait that this dries and do a second layer of wash. Sometimes I do it when I want some more contrast, but I think with 1 layer here should be enough. Maybe on the torso you want to come later on and mark a little bit more these fibers, the muscle fibers, to make them sharper. But yeah, like that should be enough. Now I wait that it dries and I'm back. Okay, next step, I'm going to use silver, and with that I'm going to paint all the parts that I want metallic. I use the silver from miniature paints, but you can use any silver that you like. Okay, I wanted to use a bright silver, and we are going to apply this, for example, on the mask. Okay, you want to apply a thin layer. On the weapons. Okay, we are going to apply it on the weapons as well. The blade, on the butcher knife or hatchet. It's like a butcher hatchet. Connectors, hooks, and the shearings. Okay, chains. Here at the back we have some details. I'm just showing you some examples of what I will do in silver. So this part here. Okay, this part, the needle of the shearing, this chains. So all these parts, and as well all this type of knives and tools that are hanging here at the back. For example, this one I will do it up to there. This one I will do as well up to here, leaving the handle. Oh, this can be even the handle like that, and then do the ring that is holding it. And we are going to do as well this type of connectors that we see here. Okay, I'm doing all these things and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step, I'm going to highlight the skin, so I'm going to use Wracker Flesh, was the base color, and with slowly we are going to highlight each muscle fiber. We are going to go like that. We are going to do that like this. Okay, and we are going to do like that. All this. As you can see, we have now a nice highlighting that will make the skin pop up. So for any reason you make a small mistake as I did here, we can take a little bit of Rhino's hide and just go between. Okay. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put again Rhino's hide, Wracker Flesh on almost this part. I'm going to make this, so I will keep some dark areas, but I will make it then quite light again. Okay, I'm going to do, as you can see, zoom this. You can see I'm going like that. I will do one of these tendrils, and you can imagine the other tendrils are going to be done in the same way, right? I call it tendrils, they're like flesh tendrils or something like that. These guys are quite grotesque as well, so I know that. And here on these things, what I will do, like that. Okay, so we do these highlights. Don't worry if you are not perfectly regular. At the end, these are organic shapes and organic things, so they can have some irregularities. You can see I will do this part as well. Okay, so I will keep doing that, and I'm back to show you how it looks like at the end. Okay, we have done all the skin like that. Okay, you can see how it looks like. Next step, I'm going to use Glacier. This one, no, this one is colored one, sorry, this one, Glacier. And we are going to do a second highlight. Need to put some water. moment I'm mixing it well. We are going to do a second highlight on this skin. Okay, we are going to pinpoint the most exposed parts. Okay, and we do a second highlight. And as well, I'm going to do the same on these things. Okay, we are going to paint now mainly on the thicker parts and on all these spikes. And we see that. Okay, so this will give a little bit more volume. We need to do all of them and not all the length of these fibers. I try to do the part where I think it's interesting to add a little bit more volume. Okay, I will do the other arm in the same way. I will do the back part and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step I'm going to, well, you can see how it looks like now, quite light everything. I'm going to highlight the red, and to highlight the red I'm going to use Mephiston red. Okay, this one I will have again, I will use corn red of course to help me, and I will use Wild Rider red. I have all of them in my wet palette, and we are going to start with the corn red. Some water as well. And we are going to start then perform this edge. Adding some corn red. Okay, we can go white. These are quite, they are not on straight close. We don't have too many folds in some parts, so this can make a little bit tricky to do the highlights, and it's asking you to be smoother. So I'm trying to apply first corn red. Okay, so it's going to be quite, and the other thing that you have to be careful is the red. When dries, it's becoming a little bit, especially the corn red, a little bit darker. Okay, so I suggest that you apply the corn red, you see how it looks like when it's dry, and then we are going to go with the next color. Okay, I did this part. This is the part I will do in the video. I need to put some Mephiston red. The one I have here is too dry. I don't think I can recover this corn red. I recover Mephiston. I have some. It's not bad. So we are going to put some Mephiston red. And here we are going to do the same. you can see that once the corn red have dried, is not as bright as it was before drying. Okay. I'm going to put some Mephisto bread here at the top. Okay. Over here and this over here. Put some. This is much brighter Mephisto red. And now I'm going to use, again, I need some water. Use this brush. I will use Wild Rider red. And I will paint the edge. And I will exaggerate these cuts. Okay, something like that. And here we're going to go like that. With the red, I need to be sure that I put it there. And now with the Mephisto red, do this, and then I use Wild Rider red to do the edge. We are going to do the same here. By mistake I touched that. Okay, we are going to clean that later on. But you can see that now this red is much rich. What I will try to do is to highlight next to this type of wrinkles we have there, to pop up them. Okay. And the other thing we are going to do is we are going to apply edge highlight on this armor plates. Okay, I'm going to do like that. And we are going to touch all these spikes. As you can see. Okay. Now we will move the other side. Avoid that. And we can use now a little bit of corn red to help here. Okay, and I'm going to take Wild Rider red and make mainly the most exposed parts. Okay, and we are going to do the same on the rest of the armor plates and the rest. So we are going to do all the clothes like that, right? So here again we come back with corn red, and we do this. Okay, we can do as well a little bit of flat part there, just a little bit. We want to add some color variation here and there to make it more interesting. Okay, but it's more of the same, right? Yes, I'm doing a little bit more so you can see exactly what I'm doing. This breakage, I always, this thing that we have these cuts, I like always to add some additional highlights. To make them pop up, but if it's too much then I make them thinner. Okay. And now again the edge. I go with my piston. And then Wild Rider red. And you can see that on these cuts, normally I just do the bottom edge, I don't do the top. Okay, so I will keep working like that the rest of the red, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, this is how the red is looking like right now. You can see it's much more lightful than before. I really like to leave it like that. Now we are going to work with some shades and shadows I want to do, and some tints, and I'm going to start tinting the face mask, with war lining, contrast war lining. We want to thin it down, so what I do is I take water with my brush and I go quite thin, and you apply this on the mask. This will give a very nice, take it thin and try to go thin, right? This is my way to do these masks in a way that they don't look too green, and I still see the green, the metal around. And for the blades, well, you can use the same technique, but I like to use a different green, is Weight Watcher. But again, if you want to use the previous green, you just do a mixture more or less 50% with solvent, with this thinner. Okay, so you do 50% contrast, 50% thinner, more or less. And here what I'm doing is I'm just using the Weight Watcher, the all glaze. I'm glazing it with green, so I give this green tint to that. Okay, so this is my way to make the metal look differently. Okay, now I'm going to take agarose dunes. I have it here, and we are going to do some metallic part with agarose dunes to make them look goldy. Okay, so for example, I will do this backbone here to make it look a little bit in a different metallic, to add some shade. Okay, and we can do maybe some of the, I don't know, this type of shadings. We can make some goldy, just to make them a little bit different. So we can leave some in iron steel color and some more in brass color. I will not do the needle. I keep the needle in the metallic type IM steel, but I do this. I will do this one that is there injected at the back. Okay, just to make them look a little bit more arcane, different, and just put some of them here and there. Don't need to do them all, so I like to keep different combinations. Okay, and the other thing I'm going to tint now, I'm going to use Drukhari Violet. Clean this. I'm going to use Drukhari Violet, and I'm going to do the back things, this mess of flesh that he has at the back. Okay, you don't want to put too much, spread it well. I will also do in the column. This way I have went quite extreme on the highlights before, because now with this wash we are going to make all these highlights softer. Okay, so this wash will help to make shades and highlight more, the change less stark. I'm going to do as well this back flesh. Okay, just to give, this will give the sensation of thick flesh, strange, like almost tortured, right? That I think it will make sense. These guys are quite creepy, so I don't expect this skin to look healthy, right? And now I will wait that all these washes dry and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step, I'm going to work on the black part, and we are going to do some highlights. To do the highlights on the black, I'm going to use Etching Gray, Downstone, and Administratum Gray. Okay, we start the Etching Gray, and we're going to, let me do this part here, that maybe it's the easiest part to share. So I'm going to start with some water. Whoops, sorry. So I'm going to do an edge highlight with Etching Gray. And I will do as well the trousers. Something like that. Then I will use Downstone, which again it's to dry as well. And Downstone I will apply it one on the top and on the corners. And if I see that I go too thick with the Downstone, then I take a little bit of black and I make this thinner. Now I'm going to take the, let's call this administrator way, and I'm going to do this rivet that we have there. Okay, we'll take a little bit of etching. Okay, then where we have the armor rivets and we only need to do the rivets, I will just apply a little bit of etching gray. And when you're doing that, you may realize that you miss some small details. These have like a small rings or small things that I like to make them silver. So I like to make them in silver color. So it can happen that you see them when you are doing the highlights. Okay, so it's normal. When I see these ones, I like to go back and do it at the moment to not forget it again. Okay, and we keep giving then you can use a little bit in some parts, a little bit of downstone if you want to make it lighter. And then on the cloth we are going again start with etching gray. When we have applied the etching gray, I will apply downstone. You can apply a little bit of administrator. Okay, now we can always take a little bit of black, very thin, and we can go a little bit over to thin to make the transition softer if needed. Here you can play as well with the shingle. I'm going to make this thicker. And then I come with black. What you want to play to smooth a little bit the transition with some like a glaze. Okay, so I need to put some water, thin it, be sure that it's thin, and put a little bit there. Okay. The other parts that you still see black, they will go green, so I will not touch them. Here, for example, this handle I will do. And some of the tubes. I will keep this like more like a small rope, or because it's where he's hanging the tools. Okay, but some tubes I will do them in green. So, for example, this thick one will go in green. This one I will keep it in grey. So here I'm applying downstone directly. Okay, and like that I will do the rest of the black. So I do the rest of the black and I'm back. Next step, I'm going to paint the green details, and for that I'm going to use Caliban green, Warstone glow, mood green, and I also have, in case I need more highlights, a dawn yellow. Okay, so let me put just some on my white palette. I forgot about the dawn yellow, it's a little bit dry. Okay, here it is. And now we are ready to start the painting. So I'm going to do one of these shadings that we have at the back. Okay, let's do this one, and I start with applying Caliban green. You will see that it leaves very dark green. To do on the sides. And I'm doing this shading, and you can imagine that I'm doing all the others in the same way, right? So I'm going to repeat it. So this one I will not put liquid level. What I will do is I will put some reflections. So I start with mood green, because in principle a shading should be full of liquid. Okay. Or empty, but normally you don't have air bubbles inside. You don't want to have air bubbles. I will let it dry. While this is drying, I will do one of the tubes. I will do, for example, the tube that we have here at the leg. Okay. And we are going to apply as well Caliban green. Okay, after applying Caliban green, in the tube I will just apply Warstone glow in some parts. Then here I will fade it out. I will put Warstone glow as well here. Need to put a little bit of water to my greens. Okay. Let's go back to the shading. And I'm going to apply a little bit more of Warstone glow. Like that. Okay. Next, we are going to apply mood green. I'm going to do like a horizontal reflection as well. I'll apply that here. And we're going to fill this with a little bit of mud, Western glue, sorry. And then I take the dawn yellow that I just put, and I will do a dot. And with that I have, this is when I want to look like full, okay? And I will do all the other shadings in the same way. The other thing I want to share, I will change miniature here. I want to show you how I do the gems, because some of them will have gems. So I have applied Caliban green as a beige color, right, that I have done in the glass. Now I will apply Western glow. Okay, and I will cover almost everything except the top. Then I will apply, let me just remove it from here so that I will go out of the camera. I will apply Western glow here. No, I always cause mood green is the lighter one, the one I'm applying now. Okay, so you do this gradient, and then I can use the dawn yellow. We put a dot on the top, and this is how I will do the gems. Okay, so, and like that we are going to do all the green on these guys. So I'm going to finalize the green on all the other parts, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step, I'm going to use Noon Oil and apply Noon Oil on the metallics. On the metallics that I haven't applied green tint. Okay, this is mainly this chain what we have here at the back, and as well the shrinks. Okay, so we are on the needle, this needle that we have here. Okay, so we just apply. Do not put too much. We just want to create a little bit of shading, but I want to keep the silver tone. Okay, just to create the shading. So don't put too much, and in the part where I still see the gray too visible, too much contrasting the black, I will also apply a little bit of Noon Oil if needed. Okay, here then on this needle. Be careful when you do the needle not to dirten the liquid. Okay. And I think that's all. Okay. Next step. I lost my. Okay, next step, I'm going to use again the silver, and I'm going to highlight a little bit the weapons. We want this green glare, but we want it to be, we also want the weapons to have silvery edges. So what I will do is I will do edge highlight, okay, half of the edges. Okay, and in some places I will even do a little bit like that. Okay, I will do the same. And as you can see, I try to go quite soft, so to keep it like that. We'll do as well here. Okay, and then the edge of the weapon. And this is almost my last step on this miniature. Okay, we want to do both sides of the weapon, of course. So we'll do the same on the other sides and I'm back. Okay, so once it's done, this is the end result. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So you can see here the paint job we did in this painting tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed. Please give a like if you have liked. Let me know what do you think. And here we have a painting tutorial on a rack. So yeah, another type of Drukhari unit that I just painted. So that's all for now. Thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.